So now that we have a functional metro in the city, it's time to get the capital, Charlemagne's North, populated. It's time to bring more people in. Now, I don't know if we're going to be able to turn the palace on. I don't know if I'm going to finish the palace today, because that's a huge building. We saw many videos ago, I guess. This has a huge resource commitment, not just in the fact that, well, it's going to store over 2,000 people, right? So because it can house 2,000 people, it's also going to have water for 2,000 people and power and sewage and all that stuff. I want to make sure that the city is ready to rock with capacity to spare. Would be nice, right? Before we turn this building on. Now, I've got the residential block here completely done. And every building is turned on here, okay? And every building is full. All right, so this part's done. All right, we don't have to look at that. Over here, we have these buildings that are already built, right? And then we've got this one to finish. And then that will allow an additional 720 people to live in this area. And then over here, every building that's completed has people living in them. I don't know if they're full, though. Let's see if they're full. They are. Okay, so we have these two under construction buildings that we've paused for many years that we can turn these on, and then they will also be able to handle an additional 432 each. So almost, getting close to 900 additional people there, okay? And then essentially the 2,000 that are here. So there's still a lot of people to live in this area. Let's take a look really quick. If I look at the overlays, we probably don't need to put 1,000. We can go 1,000 meters is fine. I want to take a look really quick at power has been pretty good. I haven't noticed any rolling blackouts or anything in here, but it's possible we get that because we're nuclear powered and we've already brought most of the power in here. I'm not super concerned about rolling blackouts from a power capacity standpoint, but from a redundancy standpoint, it's important. And we have things like this right here, for example, that aren't finished constructing yet. That can probably help in this area. So if there are any flickers, it's a problem that will be solved momentarily once these construction projects complete. So we have that done. The one I really want to look at, though, is water. I want to look at water pressure. So water pressure, and if we kind of zoom out a little bit here, too, you can see some places are good, right? It's green. Green means good, red means bad, right? Not necessarily. If your buildings have water and no one's really complaining about water, it's okay to be red here. It just means that this stuff is operating at or near its maximum capacity. Okay? Now, that's my problem right now, though, is that this is operating at or near maximum capacity and I have more people to bring in. So, in other words, I need to expand how much water I'm supporting in this area, all right? I need to expand what we're doing there. If I take a look at the water flow, it's fine, but it's not going to be fine for the purposes of getting everyone to have the water that they need if I don't have any additional capacity remaining. So I'm going to have to look at expanding this a little bit more, because if I look underground, we'll probably see that all the pipes are red. Yeah, well, a lot of them are. Some of these are green. That's good, right? Yellow, orange, right? These are like, hey, it's operating near its max, but not quite maxed. And then you have the red, which is 5.3 bar is what the big pipes can handle. All right, so a lot of these are all big pipes anyway. Not this one. This one's not, but pretty much all of them, definitely the ones that are going into the underground storages that are around here. And there's a bunch of them just for redundancy. We're gonna have a lot of people here, so if we start having a water shortage, I want to have a bunch in storage, giving me the most time possible to notice it, right? So I think water needs to be expanded. If we take a look at sewage flow and we let it run for a little bit, there's a little bit of red piping going on through here, but I think for the most part we're fine. It all outflows over here, so it seems like that's probably okay. I think sewage capacity is probably fine for now. Yeah. And then, of course, we have whatever free flats are available there, too. Water, heating, and stuff. I do think that heating is going to be an issue when we activate this building, but I don't think it'll be an issue for any of the others. But this building we might need another source of heat, and to pump that in to where it's basically dedicated only in this area right here. So I'll probably put like some kind of heat substation maybe in this little gap here. So just to make sure that this building is getting treated. And then it'll, of course, reach into these other buildings anyway just to provide a little extra support, as the heating system is in general just coming from many different sources, I would think. This one apparently is only there. I thought we had another one that was closer. Is this not close enough? It isn't. Okay, interesting. So that changes things a little bit. So there's already one that's basically dedicated to this, because this one doesn't really have a whole lot else to do. It's got this area, but this area also is being taken care of by this one. So we may actually be fine with heat there. That might be all right. That is a big one, right? Not a small one. I should have only had big ones in this area. Yeah. Okay, so we'll look at that. That's definitely something I want to do. Another thing I want to do is my finances have been a little poor lately. I'm just noticing that my rubles aren't really going up much. And my population is dropping too, and I need to address that as well. I think that might have something to do with just lack of housing. Everybody's kind of moving away. There's only 1,600 without a flat now, but there might be other reasons too. It says unable to get no water, 1,000. So that's interesting. I have 1,000 people at the moment without, or reporting anyway, no water. So I'm gonna have to look at stuff like that. Starving says 7,800. So that's a big deal. And I'm not entirely sure why, because I don't think I have any issues with moving food around. So let me just real quick take a look. There's some food spare there. It might be logistical capacity. I may simply not have enough trucks doing it. So that might take a look at. We might take a look at that too, because I think the trains are moving product fast enough. This is where we make the bulk of our food. Obviously, this is not set up and running yet, but this is going to supplement food a lot too. And this will, if there's any shortages at all in the Republic, this will solve it. And then this whole area here is nobody's even living here yet. So it's built way too fast. But I don't think there's a food issue that I can really address right now other than just adding additional trucks. So, I mean, I guess I could look at that, but I have to know kind of where the food problem is. I'd have to know where people are complaining about food. So if I go to, let's say, satiated, and where are people complaining about their food problems? So where are they having food problems? 99, 100%, 99, 100%. Yeah, I don't see any issues in the main area here. Maybe it's in Zernovsky. No, it seems like pretty much everybody has food. Over here, no problems with food. Over here, no problems with food. Is it Magnitograd? Okay, so Magnitograd looks like it might be the problem here. We got 55%, 68%. So we're not getting enough food into this area. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at that really quick. So there's nothing here. We know that. And the train is supposed to be bringing it here, but it clearly has not gotten here in time. So perhaps I simply need another train moving this. That's a logistical problem, right? And the train track is not that full. I've kind of spread the trains out enough. So why aren't you getting the food you need? That's something to take a look at. I'm going to put a pin in that and address that after I set up something else. So I wanted to look at the fact that my rubles aren't going up very fast. I have lots of UF6 now. I've almost got 2 full vehicle storages worth, and that's gonna stop production. They're not gonna have anywhere to store it, right? So that's what we want to prevent. We want to prevent production slowing down and them not having any place to store it. Uranium oxide is being produced well in excess of what we need, what we're using and everything. So, if we can get more workers in here, that'd be great. We can process it faster. But I think it'd be a great idea to sell the UF6. And so to do that, we want to get a train out here that can pick this stuff up. And we're going to have it pick it up from here. Or maybe we could do it from here. But if we do it from here, it's better because then the truck is automatically bringing it from here to here anyway. So then I think that's kind of where we want to go. We don't want to use too much so that these guys don't have anything to process. But I don't think the train will be going frequently enough for that to matter. And then likewise, we have a lot of nuclear fuel just sitting around in excess, right? So I don't think that'll be an issue either. So let's get a train to come here, grab the UF6 and sell it at the border, and we'll see what we can get for it. So to do that, I've already kind of gone in and kind of did most of the work here, most of the busy work beforehand, before recording. Got a few trains in here getting themselves repaired, but this is the one I'm looking to use. So this is our electric locomotive, our extra one that's been sitting here. I had it go out and get all these trailers in here, so now it has these. And then what we're going to have this train do, assuming it can, because it should be all electrified. It should be able to do this. We're going to have it grab the UF6 from here. And I could just have it vehicles containers, I guess. Yeah. I don't think I need to designate this completely, but I can anyway, just so I have the icon, I suppose. So it's going to be UF6. That's what you're going to grab, okay? And then you're going to take the UF6. Although it's, if I do this, is it still interesting? So it's going to have the logo anyway. I was hoping for like the UF6 logo, but it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's been a long time. There's probably a way to do that, and I'm just silly. It's okay. I don't really care. We're going to take you and have you drop it off right here and sell it at the border there. That's it. Go. So that's that train. That train will go off and do the UF6 sales. What are you having a hard time reaching? You're trying to reach the Cernakova Farms cargo train station. Why can you not reach this? This is all electrified, man. You should be able to reach this without an issue. Saying you can't reach it because of this tiny... Is it this little segment? No. You're not going this way, though. You're going this way. And that's electrified already, as is this. So you don't need this little section to be electrified, do you? I don't know why. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, I see why. I see why. The train track, it's one way here. Okay, hang on. If I do this really quick, does that solve your navigation problem right now? And then I can get... I'll get a train out here to solve this. So we'll go like this. And then we'll get the... I think that solves that problem. And then I want one of you guys to come out here and just electrify that little segment really quick. Yeah, right there. And we'll make this be a high priority. And that looks like it solved the problem because it seems to be moving now. Well, it's moving the opposite direction. Can you turn around, please? You should be able to reach it now. I changed the signals. And now you can just use the electrified side. I think you should be able to use the electrified side, but you're not going to do it. Very weird. Okay, tell you what, we're just going to get you out of the way because you're tying everybody up. And then we'll electrify that track and it should take care of the problem. I can't understand why the electric train would refuse to take this when it's perfectly, unless it's not perfectly. Unless it's not perfectly. It's not perfectly. No, it's not perfectly. This would make it perfectly. Yep, that would make it perfectly. Probably should have looked at that before I dismissed the train, but it's fine. It's fine. It's going to be okay. So let's go ahead and allow that building to construct. We'll get people over there because I think that side is fine. This side over here, though, again, I think it's a water shortage issue. So I kind of want to look at water shortage here. We have a couple of different water treatment plants. They're both full of chemicals. They have their own dedicated trucks that go off, get the chemicals, bring it back. Okay. And then we've got loads of people making chemicals now. We should have pretty much all these places near full all the time. This one's having maybe like a worker. Maybe there's a... How many people are getting off these buses? That one's full. This one's barely anybody. I might need to reduce the number of buses because there's a lot more people taking trains now. But that's a lot of workers right there. Yeah, 50 out of 60 now. Good. 58. 60 out of 60. Oh, yes. So everybody's got places to go, places to work here. And the forklift should be busy 24/7 now. Bringing chemicals into here to get processed into the plastics. And once this is full of plastic, which I think I'm going to go like this. One more. Yeah, one more. I'm going to make sure this thing caps at 240 so that we can store more chemicals in here because I think chemicals are going to be a serious bottleneck. Now, these guys they don't get these trucks here. They don't get their chemicals from this building. This building is providing chemicals to the trains. They get their chemicals from these storage buildings. And so there should be a constant supply of chemicals here for trucks to pick up, because these buildings here are the priority buildings for the forklifts. So they should be providing for here and there. I think the water trucks are getting them from this building specifically. Both of them are from that building. All right, so we've got that. Now I'm introducing more personal cars. Yeah, I know, frame rates, right? But I'm introducing more of them because I like them and I want them to be able to... we've covered this before. I like them to have their own freedom of mobility here. So we've got a bunch of cars here, and they're getting delivered here now instead of the boat. That's also tanking my revenue, right? Because my exports of cars have not been going for the last, calendar year in the game. But there should be more people with cars over this way now. So I'm having them delivered over there. This is how I'm doing it. So I'm having them delivered to here. And then there's a dedicated truck already that brings them to the dealership that's in the middle of the city over here. Right here. All right. So people can buy them, and they have been, right? There's cars ready to sell right here, right? So there's more cars getting introduced over here. But they've also... the cars that have been delivered here already, where are you? Right here. They have also been getting told... I don't even know if this works, but I've done it anyway, and it seems to work since there are cars here right now. I've been telling them to do this and to just basically bring them over here like that. So now they can drive themselves, and we'll have more cars in this area like that can drive themselves. So all these cars, though, they're not getting delivered by a truck. They're going to leave, just like they're doing right there. They're going to leave and drive themselves over there, which is not nearly as efficient, but that's what I'm going for right now. It's a one-time trip over there where all of them can just drive themselves. And then that supply of cars over there gets replenished by the train here, which comes over here and picks up the cars that are already being made over here, which there's a whole bunch of them ready to go and get loaded on a train pretty soon. And I'll probably adjust that train to make it go back to the ship at some point. That ship, I did send it to drop off what it already had. So I think it's probably on its way back at this point. What I think I would want to do, though, is maybe if I want more dollars, which I don't need any more dollars, but if I want more dollars, what I could do is get the train that's picking up these containers of UF6. If I can get that train in here and then instead direct that train to drop off the UF6 in here, and then the boat can take it to the western border and we can end up selling it over there. So there's a way to sell it to the west, even though I don't have train tracks out there. I don't have any trains that can go this way, but there's still a way to sell it to the west by simply getting it to the boats. So cool. All right, so I haven't seen the train actually come by here and pick it up yet, and I kind of wanted to watch that happen. So there should be in this list, if I scroll down, I should be able to see the train that's attached to this building. There you are. And where are you? Well, you're getting real close. You're coming in from this side. I don't know if that will be the side that you always come in on, but that's where we are right now. Flowing right into here. I want to make sure that you can pick this up. You should be able to. You can't do containers. There it goes. You can't do containers with distribution offices. So I can't bring this UF6 to the border via, using the distribution office. It has to be a dedicated train, which is what this is doing. So this thing can carry not a bad amount, 22 tons at a time. Probably would want a much longer train, but I'm trying to, my rules, right? I could probably do one more wagon here. I'm not sure 2 more would work. I think these are 22 meters each. So I wouldn't be able to do 2 more, but I could fit 1 more wagon on here. I'm not sure it's going to make a huge difference. However, when this thing does get to the border, it's going to give us almost 10 million rubles. So that'll be very nice. And so that train's going to run for quite a while. I think, based on how much that can haul, I would like to think that my buildings here are capable, not these ones, these ones. I believe these guys are capable of producing UF6 almost as fast as we can export it. I think. This is going to make 2 tons. We make 2 tons of it a day. And it probably doesn't take 10 days for that train to get all the way over there and back. Nah, I don't think it does. Depends on how laggy it is. But I think we actually are exporting faster than we're making it. Which is all right. That's fine. We have extra, right? So that's the whole point. And then here's the progress report on the airport. Both of our runways are nearly completed. There's a little bit left on this. At least there was. Doesn't look like there is any more. No, both runways are now done. Yep. Both runways completely done. Taxiways are mostly functional. And it looks like the tunnel is done to get in here. And a lot of these roads here are almost completed. So we're nearly ready to start, you know, getting started on the buildings. All the other underground infrastructure, the power, the pipes to bring oil around and, you know, move fuel around and stuff, all that stuff's still being produced, all being constructed. So don't have to wait on that, but otherwise looking pretty good. We got a full train load ready to go for oil over here when it gets there. Because we're picking up oil from a different location now, it actually gives this time to fill up before the train gets there, which is cool. What's not so cool is the fact that I think anyway, I'm going to need another oil train anyway to get it faster, because I think we have so many people working here. Yeah. So many people working here that we just can't feed this thing oil fast enough. As we process, as we transition is a better word for this, transition our trains all to electric, we'll start using, of course, less diesel. There's still going to be some diesel trains in service, especially when we get out to like the really remote areas. But I think for the most part, I want to get electric trains everywhere, every single track. Would be very nice to have that. So as we transition that, I would hope that we would use less and less fuel, right? We're adding more cars, of course, but I think less and less fuel consumption is always a good thing. Just want to check really quick on any rolling blackouts. I want to see if we have any problems with that. And I have to stop moving the camera because sometimes the camera has a rendering lag, and that can come off as a rolling blackout, or at least looking like flicker. But I don't think that's what's actually happening here. I think we're good. I've solved all the power issues. Yeah, took a bit of finagling, but I think I got it. And then adding an extra building now is also gonna do that too. So this is all done. It needs 16 tons of steel. I didn't know that. Does this one need the steel? It does too. I'm gonna need more steel here. All right, I'm gonna turn both of these on so that this can get its work days done, and then we can get the steel and stuff delivered to both of these buildings. It's fine. So when they get the steel delivered, then they'll work on that, and then we'll have another building up and running. Oh my gosh, look at how many people are using this. So good. So good. That's 250 workers headed that way. And then there's another one on its way back over here. Look at that. 30 passengers, 50 students on their way over here towards the college. Gonna get yourself learned. Beautiful. Loving it. Why are you waiting? All right, what are you waiting for? What? Track builder? You're supposed to be building this. Are you just being a dink? Go do this. So this train, I waited until this train got in here, and I really wish it would just, it's already full. That's why. Okay. I waited until this train got in here so it could pick up the garbage. But then I was hoping that we could electrify this track and, you know, do so before it wanted to leave. And that was really naive because this train is going to fill up immediately. It's apparently there's a lot of garbage here. So whatever. We'll just tell the track builder to get on with things, hopefully here. Come on. You can do it. There you go. That will get out of everybody else's way, please. There's as many tracks as there are here. There shouldn't be any trains waiting. You guys have the ability to flow through here 2 by 2, kind of. In this area where the stations are anyway, you do. There we go. All right, so we'll get this electrified, and then this train can leave. Now, I also have a waste train. It may be here. No, the one that's bringing waste here. Yep, and we're still processing. Okay, this was backlogged a little bit, but I've got the waste trains doing their business now. We're fine. So the train that comes in here and drops off waste from from Krasna Industrial Yard, which is over near Magnitograd. That train, just want to check on that really quick, making sure we're not overflowed. I'm going to need another one. Shit, I'm going to need another train. Okay, that train, I sent it on another path, on a different route, and I'm going to need another waste train, it looks like, because of that. So what I've done is I've sent it to Krasna Industrial Yard. Then it drops it off here. Then, instead of coming right back here, what it does now, because I noticed it was sitting here waiting a while, right? It was like wait till loaded. That was happening, and it was sitting here a while. So I figured maybe I have time. So I sent it all the way over here to pick up this waste, because this was starting to get full. So that train should be on its way over here now, and I don't know exactly where it is. Let's just take a look. So we'll be able to see the route that it has. And this is not an electric train. So this might be the first candidate here for electrification on the waste trains. And so it's apparently on its way. Oh, did you already pick it up? You must have already picked it up. Are you already on your way back? Where are you? No, come on. The train. Where's the train? Wow, it is already on its way back. It's here. Yeah. Okay, so it already went all the way over there and picked up stuff. And it's got some hazardous waste that's brought back, and it's got some 259 tons, 333 tons of mixed waste. Now, what I think is the problem here is it's going to dump the hazardous waste in here. And I don't want it to do that. I'm realizing that that's a problem right now. I don't want it to do that. So I want you to unload only the mixed waste. And then what you're going to do for this load, because I messed up, is I'm going to have you go back over. We'll send you here because you're out of the way. A big long train here. We'll send you here. And I want you to then unload the hazardous waste at this location. And actually, you may not be able to use this one. You're pretty long. If your butt's still sticking out back here, then you won't be able to take this route. That's actually a problem. So I know you have in the past went to the Jawa one and it was fine. So I think I'll have you do that one instead. So bring you out of this. Yep. And then add this one right here, Jawal. There it is. And I want you to drop off your hazardous waste here. All right. So it's going to drop off all of its mixed waste, hopefully not the hazardous stuff. Just want to make sure I fix this because it's a potential issue here. And then I also want to check, is this electrified at all? No. So waste trains can't be electrified yet. I really do think this area here is kind of hitting its limit. And it's probably time to look at expanding waste processing a little bit more. So we're going to keep an eye on this really quick. Just going to put that over here. Now, to expand waste processing, I have already, built this area here. So this is processing, but we're not using it to its maximum capacity. And that's because the rail isn't done yet. So I do have track building going on over here, trying to get that around in this area. This is probably the main food building. Yep. And that main food building is fine. It's just that the trucks are taking all of it. And then it's getting replenished right away, but the trucks are still taking all of it. At least that's the way it should be happening. Are we really not getting enough people to work here? 106. There should be a lot more people working here. Yeah, there should be. I'm gonna, since we can't export clothes anymore, I'm gonna take this down 50 as a max on clothing, and 50 here as well. So I'm gonna limit that. For fabric, Let's bring that down to 80. And if I do that, I think more people will come off of the metro and then go into the food buildings. That's what I got to hope for here. I'm actually not sure I'm not sure the metro can get to this building. I know they can get here, but we're not nearly enough people in these buildings right now. So that's a problem as well to solve. We got these metros are all, they just left here, but they have passengers, not workers on them, which is fine. They have more than enough capacity. The passengers are not overflowing the train or anything, right? Like there's a 525 capacity. There's 231 passengers. So that's not a huge deal, but it's possible that we need to look into getting more workers. So leaving this station, lots of passengers waiting and some workers waiting too. I think getting the other trains going is probably going to be the thing I need to do right now. So I don't know if there are any more metro trains available. If there are, bring them to me. And then we need to get these 3 locomotives here in service because they're just sitting here doing nothing. So I want to copy some of the routes. Just pin that really quick. So let's come over to, which direction are you headed? There's a lot of workers in Charlevins North. I want to bring them over here. So it's the one that's heading this way. Your route should be copied to this train. And then I'm going to send you on your merry way. Go. And then going in the other direction, it'd be workers from here going up towards the and there's plenty of workers here too. So whichever trains are heading the opposite direction of that, I want to also copy your route. So where is that? I gotta find one. You're going that way. Yeah, your route is copied to this one, and off you go. Okay, so 2 metros heading out, 1 in each direction. That's good. And I just want to see them do their thing here. They're all gonna go. Now wait, you're like 54 years old. Okay, I don't know how you got here with your terrible shape that you're in, but I don't like that. You should not be in this. I'm not sure how that happened. I think what happened, I want you to go back here. Go back there. Turn around and go back in here. And then I'm going to send this one out instead. So this one's headed out. And then we can hopefully get the junk one to get back out. Come on. You're not on this line anymore. Yep, there you go. Go do your thing. There you go. Get back out of here, and then I'll have you leave. This one's in much better shape, right? What? How is this happening? All right, I got junk ones. I'm not sure how I got all this junk, but I got junk. Turn around and go back in there. Okay. So clearly this train has been told to grab used ones, not just new ones. Also, you need to start boring the tunnel, so I'm gonna let you pass that. Where's that train? Where is it? Not gonna show me where it is. I need that train to bring those metros over to the scrapyard. So I have metro trains that I have purchased a long time ago that I wanted to go to the scrapyard, and I apparently just left them in there, and I did not. The used ones that are very old, and so the train has picked up the metros that were very old and brought them over there. So that's my bad. Can I have, what kind of used ones are there? Are there any metro trains? Yes. 54 years old. So like this one is a decent amount of steel for 331. It's not bad. You know, I could have that brought, but I have that train that's really bringing metro trains that I'm using, and I think that's the better priority right now. So Yeah, we'll go ahead and put this as blue, and we're going to buy 2, let's say 3 more of these. And that's probably it. I don't think I'll need any more metro trains, as far as the ones I'm going to use anyway. All right, now you're still unloading the garbage. It really is slow, isn't it? This unloading process. It's very slow. I don't see any reason why this won't work. Because you're going to load, yep, this, and then... Actually, I think I want you to just unload everything. Yeah, let's try this. Let's have you go to this one, which you should already be there, so I think you just keep unloading. If I hit this button. No. I want you to do this one. Yeah, that. And now you turn around and you go back, right? No? You're not going to do it? No, it's fine. It's fine. So you get 100 tons less than you were going to get before. It's big deal. I want you to drop off the hazardous waste. And then on this stop, let's have you only pick up the mixed waste. So that way you don't pick up hazardous waste anymore. All right, so that probably takes care of that issue. Yeah, so a lot of the playtime right now, a lot of the stuff we're doing right now is, there's a bit of a management game now, right? There's less building, more management. Find the little inefficiencies, tweak little things, and get it running a little bit more efficiently. Finding where there's problems and then fixing them. So things like this building being done is done now, and it has everybody in it. That's great. And then this building is... they still haven't delivered all the steel, but I have a feeling that's what this thing is doing. Yeah, there's some steel being delivered by helicopter here. And I need to get the helicopters to stop working. Because when I'm low on fuel, it's usually the helicopter's fault. If I can get the helicopters to stop, that usually takes care of it. So I'm going to go like this. And now they're only going to deal with reconstructions, which is going to have a significant... there's going to be a lot quieter around here. A significant impact on the noise pollution. We'll go like that. So that's less fuel being used by helicopters, which means there's more for everybody else because we're starting to get a little bit low. Now this building is down to just work days. That's what I wanted. So when this building completes, I want only educated people like that. Yep. And then we'll go like this and that, like that. And then I think we'll go ahead and stop that construction right now. We've already let them move into this building, so they're going to go wherever they want. And that's probably a good deal of them will go to the metro station. I would think anyway. Yeah. So as the metro comes in, here we go, 131 workers on this. And they have not been traveling very long, so they should all be dropped off at the right station. So when they get here, can they work in food? They get here. They're not going to work in that food, but they can work in this one. So this one should be full like all the time. Yeah. We should really be cranking food out. All these crops and stuff really should be cranking this food out a lot. And then over here is a little less full on workforce. I could maybe dedicate some of these guys. So I could say other and then go like this. And then I can say maybe, let's make sure 35% of you always work here. And then I can do the same thing with you guys. We'll just make sure that, you know, like 38 or whatever, always work in food. Just to keep a constant workforce that's dedicated to that building. Yeah. I think that's what we're going to do here. And then other, and then there. And then at least 38% works in food. Maybe we'll go higher with this one. We'll go 50%, I guess. But, yeah. And then all their other buildings, they can get worked on, you know, by the metro riders anyway. They'll be able to do that too. All right, let's just run just a little bit more. I did want to address water today. I just kind of got distracted. So for water, if I was, you see there's tons of these pumps around here. Lots of connections. Like there's so much capacity here built into this. But that's because there's a lot of people here. I need to have one more of these. And I think it probably could be located over here. The issue with anything over here is that we also have to work it, which means people have to reach it. Now, I think there's a really good chance that people can walk from the palace and get over there because we have this walkway that I've built. All these walkways that go over the highway system here, right? And they can walk over all this stuff. So getting to there is 370. So if I put another one like right here, doesn't really get in the way. If I put one right here, I think people who live here should be able to reach it. I guess we can find out because I think I need more water. So if I take, let's say, a water treatment big, and if I put you, ooh, it's, yeah, maybe not. I don't know if you'll reach this. That seems awful sketch. I think this might be too far away. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to reach that, put that there. Okay, so we need to come up with another location. Now, obviously, I could put it over here, but I kind of wanted this to be a more touristy area, but it can work. If it's over here, it can work. I just have to make sure that, you know, like the deliveries and stuff, right? Because here's the road connection, but it's coming from this side. Yeah. Oh, also, this is done now. Yeah, the whole thing is done pretty much. I need to do this road, which I guess we could do right now. Why don't we take... Do we do gravel here? I think we could do gravel here. Yeah, gravel's fine through here. Let's make that a gravel road and then just giving it a side street so it doesn't, you know, it disrupt any routes. We can go like that for now. Get that going. Put that right there too. Let's make that a gravel road too. Why not? About like that. And then we want to do our thing here as well. So make the game skip so that it can calculate all the pathing. There it goes. Oh, and almost. We're going to get there and done. Okay. And then it goes all the way to here as a one-way street. There we go. And then from this side, it goes all the way through here. Yep, we can do this. Come on, game. You got it. All the way to here. And like that. Yeah. Something like that. Probably good enough. And then these are all two-way roads anyway. I don't even think these ones need to be one-way. I'm mostly doing this in case, you know, vehicles also want to go here. So like they're just able to keep going or they get out of the way. But like if you're over here, yeah, then you have to come through here and get through this mess just to get that way. It's probably not the best. Yeah, we'll just get rid of this. It's fine. This side here can stay two-way. Okay, our radioactive cargo has arrived at the border and is now going to be sold, and we're gonna get like 9.8 million rubles supposedly. So should watch the money go up. Lovely. It actually unloads pretty quickly too. I mean, they're containers, so I suppose that makes sense. Now I'm gonna adjust the course of this. In fact, I already have, so you can see the new route here. I'm gonna take and get rid of this border stop. Oh, why are we stopping? Oh, it's the waste train. Yeah, I had the waste train go here to unload all the hazardous waste. So let's just delete that stop. So now it's going to continue doing what it does, but only doing it with mixed waste instead of the hazardous stuff. So this train's going to go back. It's going to get more, but then we're going to have it go to the cargo yard instead. Right. So we're going to start having it drop off the containers here instead because it's just more efficient to do that. Having that train go all the way back over there, it's going to take too long. So we're just going to have it come to here. And then the boat that was bringing cars to the border should be almost back by now. I think this is it. Yeah. So this boat is coming back now, right? And it will load the containers. And I can also just like select what I want it to load, I suppose. But let's just make sure that it loads all available UF6 as well. And then it will just unload everything at the border. So we'll just have it unload all. Just all. Unload everything. Yeah. So anything on the boat, it gets sold. What we got in our messages? Train is waiting too long. Is it still waiting? It's been a while, probably. No, it's gone. Okay, can burn that message. How about this one? This one looks like it's not waiting anymore either. Goodbye. And all the blue messages I don't really care too much about because they're just like general notices. Most of them are stopping production. And all the stop production messages are almost always the heating plant. So if I look at this, it's probably a heater. Yep, this one here. Incinerator, power incinerator. If we're not burning trash, well, we don't have a backup or anything, so we're fine there. We're going to be burning a lot more trash. This is going to start working a lot more very soon. We just need the train tracks done. And that's a work in progress. We're getting there. Yeah, there's the tunnel boring right there. Look at it. Showing up right on time, huh? There we go. Start boring that tunnel, get underneath this highway, and then go that way. Now, I am also looking at ways that I can improve traffic even more over here. So, as you know, when we first started this out, I probably wasn't... There's no probably about it. I didn't organize this the most intelligently. I have tracks going directly over highways, right? So, you know, every time a train goes by, everyone's got to stop for the train, right? So I'm looking at where are convenient places where I could improve this. And I'm thinking the first one is going to be here because it's a very high traffic area. There's almost always a train going through here. Everybody's always stopping here. But we're not getting significant traffic backups. It's not a lot of volume of cars. So it doesn't seem to matter all that much, especially when they are allowed to clip through each other. But regardless, this is a place where I could improve that. And I'm thinking of taking this road out and bringing it across the track here and getting it to be over here. Now, that's kind of a zigzaggy little road. But the other alternative to this, there is no other alternative. That's not how it works, is to get rid of this and then just have this be the road so that I can get enough room to put a bridge here. I don't really want to do a tunnel. I think it'll take too long. I think a bridge is better. That said, though, the construction vehicles are right here, and all the resources are right here. So this is like my first one because I feel like it can get done really fast. The other ones are over here. This one here is a much higher volume of traffic road. I'd like to get that taken care of. And I think for this one, because there are little streets here, right, and there are like, you know, parking and everything. This one, I don't know. But it might be better for me to bring the rail over, and that's going to be a huge undertaking to do that because, well, I would start with this one. I think I'd start with the middle one because we can have this splits off. So there's a way to get there straight through here without interfering, you know. And then I'd have to make this. I have to make like another one that goes this way, so cross there, so that trains can get into places where they need to go. It's complicated, right? But there's 3 tracks here. And so I feel like I could do this one first. And then once that one's done, then I could do the other side of it over here. And then at the very end of that, then I've got the difficult one, which is this side. And this side is difficult because it's the only track that heads towards the camera right now. It's the only track that goes this way. So every single train that's over here that wants to go this way, they have to go a different direction. They have to go a different path. Now, luckily, I have provided redundancy. The track system is built with lots of redundancy. So anywhere they want to go that's this direction from this side, they can go that way and wrap around to this track over there. Or they can head in and turn earlier. They can turn in here and get down through this way and then work their way zigzaggy all the way around here, right, over this bridge, and now they're on this side. And then if they, you know, wanted to keep going, that they can, so they didn't have to go to a straight line, or if they needed to get into this area for some reason, they can now turn left, and now they're on this track to get in wherever they wanted to go. It's not as like fast, it's not as efficient, but it's possible without any disruption in traffic, provided, you know, the trains can path themselves there, and I think they can. I think we could probably get that pathed. All right, lots and lots of people working here. I love it. The wear and tear is getting a little high here, so we're going to have to shut this place down pretty soon. It's got me a little worried. Yeah, it's on both of them, too. That is an issue, isn't it? That's a major issue. I didn't think I mean, somehow their wear and tear got synchronized. That's no good. But yeah, we're gonna have to funnel a lot of people in to make this work, because right now we have what, 155 or so, 160 people. Sorry, 260 people working in food, and that is barely keeping up, right? We're not getting this overflowed. I want this to be way up and filled all the time, and it's not. So that tells me we're at the peak of what we can afford. And then we also have this water problem still, which I think is the reason why people are dying. My population is dropping right now. Is it deaths or is it people leaving? Let's take a look at that. Population stats. Is it people? So my population, you see, deaths. It's deaths. So a lot of people dying. So I'm trying to figure out why people are dying, right? Because we had that death issue. And so I've been looking around. I don't want to like take up the rest of this time, and I know we're getting close to the end of the video here. And I mean, this area here is the only area that's expressing any challenge in getting food. And it's like 50% of people, right? Which is a huge portion of people. But if I go to the other areas, pretty much everything is 99, 100%. So like food is happening really well everywhere except for Magnitograd, which makes sense because it's the furthest away from a food production area. You know, these guys are a little bit further along and need some logistics to get it here. Charlevoix North should have no issues. Just double checking here. Yeah, no issues there. And if I go over here, there's food production over here in Warstock now, right? That was the reason why food production happens over here. And then these guys are having no issues with food, right? All the people who live out in the country are fine. They live near the crops, right? So it's really comes down to Magnitograd and getting food over here. Now, a train did arrive. So there's some food in here now. And then also this is full now. So like a train did show up and deliver food here. And we have some food in this area here too. Food in the warehouse, right? So like they have it, but they're still low percentages here. So it might be a selling issue, right? It could be a selling issue. You see, every once in a while, we're getting that little pip there where it says that people are waiting outside, right? Fewer sellers than required. And that's a big problem. So if you have people waiting out in front of the shop, that's a big problem. But I don't think this should last very long. With the train that just delivered the food and everything, like these guys should get what they need and move on. So I don't know if that's going to last. So we'll see these percentages go up, I would assume. And then I want to check in on the health of citizens here too. It's a little low because pollution is an issue as well, right? We're making things, it's pollution. I need to kind of get people to live further away from it. And I'm kind of toying with the idea here of maybe tearing down these homes and then moving them over here. And then I need to move all this garbage, right? All of this stuff needs to move over here still. So I kind of want to do that. Maybe next video we'll do that. But if I can get people to move away, it just makes it harder to get people into work. But we're using the trams a lot now, and the tram track does go this direction. So if I was to say move the homes over here by the water and then just have this tram road maybe head this direction and pull into a station here and everybody's going on there, that wouldn't be very difficult because it's already on the same track as everything else. And then I could potentially get it to use a different path as well. That's probably not going to happen. If I turned this into a tram road, maybe I could take the road here. I'd have to get rid of the station. Nah, it's too cluttered there. So, but in any case, this is definitely the issue. People are dying here. I don't think they're dying anywhere else. There is one thing, like, and no unpatrolled crimes this year either. So everyone complaining about crime, that's not killing them, right? Crime is a thing that might end up making them orphans, which of course would put a strain on the orphanages, and then that would in turn cause more crime if there's a lot of strain on the orphanages. But if I click these, like that one's pretty full actually. What about this one here? This one is yeah, it's pretty close to max, right? This one here is actually over. That's bad. So we need to move some of these guys, right? So I mean, there is an orphanage issue now, which is going to put stress on the crime, going to put stress on the police departments and stuff. Yeah. So we need to look at that and try to address that as well, because our orphanages are getting full now from all the people dying. right? Leaving them as orphans. So we have that issue now again. The orphan problem just keeps getting out of control. And all of these children who are not getting an appropriate upbringing, they are all going to get criminality added to them. And this is happening this is very early in this process. We're catching this right away, essentially, because like you see these guys without a proper upbringing, they have 0% criminality right now. You know, and like this child here has a university education and they're 19, but they're still considered a child because they don't have housing. If they move out of the orphanage into their own house, you know what? Now that's a reason to activate houses, right? I think I will. I think that's a reason to turn that on so they can get out of there. And we'll see what kind of strain this puts on the system. Yeah. So I'll go ahead and turn this on as well. And we'll get both of these buildings done. And that's going to add, you know, housing for like another 1,000 people. And then hopefully all these orphans that are, you know, age 20, but they're still living in an orphanage, right? What the hell? So like this is the part where if they're 21, then they move out, or 21 plus without their own flats, right? We don't actually have a lot of 21 plus without their own flats. Actually, they've all pretty much left at this point. So we should see our population start to grow here, hopefully. That's what I'm hoping for. But we might need more orphanages. I don't think I'll need more orphanages as long as I can deal with the death spiral, right? We're at 75.5 now. We were at 80 at one point, a little over 80. So if I can deal with the death spiral, then it's not going to be required to build more of them. Average lifespan is a little lower in Magnitograd, you know, 57 and stuff. That's no good. One that couldn't visit a doctor there, one couple that can't visit a doctor here. We have ambulances for that purpose. There's 2 hospitals in the area. So I don't think there's a problem. There's a helicopter there. Oh, also, I have to replace a helicopter. I just did this off camera. This right here, there's no helicopter here anymore because it's getting repaired. And it's right here. It's getting repaired. And so I went ahead and I bought a used one right here. And I'm going to add, I just forgot to add this one to the hospital there. So now it has a helicopter again. Yeah, and then the prison system's gonna, you know, we'll have more criminality, which means we're gonna catch more criminals, which means we're gonna put more people in the prison. All that stuff is bad. So I need to address the death spiral, and that is Magnitograd right now. So over here is, I think, my main focus for next video. Not this side of the river, but this side of the river. There's something going on here that I need to fix, and I'm not entirely sure what it needs to happen, but I think a local food production is a good idea for this area. I think local food production would be great. I'm tempted to build that over here too, because we have farmland we could potentially use over here. But I was originally, the original plan has always been to put that over here. And I know it's really hard to see because of the storm, but it's always been to put it over here. Right, so we go through here, and then we have lots and lots of farming happening over in this area, and trains pick it up and bring it as into here. But we just have a food factory. So where to put the food factory? It's got to be somewhere near people. The farms don't need to be near people, but where we process the food does. And so that's the hard part. And I'm tempted, like I said, to maybe move these houses over here. And if I did that, then I think I could justify having a food factory right here. And then just have the train tracks. They could come in. It's just too crowded for the train tracks to do anything here. This is it's a very planned area. There's no room for anything else that wasn't planned. And it's not necessarily well planned, but it's planned. That's just the way it goes. So something to think about. I got a dropping population, a rising budget now. My money's going up, that's good. But I need to address this problem because the people dying in this area are causing orphans, which is going to cause higher criminality, which is going to put more stress on police and courts and prisons. Again, it takes people out of the workforce, etc. And I want to see my population go up. I don't have hardly anyone now. Nobody's uneducated. That's pretty sweet. But I don't have... I don't really have anyone spare to move in, right? 21 without a flat is kind of done now. I've added houses enough to where they'll just move in. And then also enough people have died to make vacancies for them. So time to build the population back up is what I'm looking at doing. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I hope to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.